Well, hello there. Here I am with Boy Swallows Universe. I've read this one really quickly. The reason being is that it's just a little surprising page turner. As I mentioned at the end of my last review, Trent Dalton is the story's set in Brisbane. I don't know where Trent Dalton's from. Sounds like he used to work as a journo. And what he's done in this book is just fantastic. He's created this wonderful character, Eli, and his brother, August. But Eli in particular, he reminds me a little bit of Owen in Say a Prayer for Owen Meany, or perhaps PK in Power of One. So he's created this character that's a kid who has this wisdom, but without being precocious and annoying. So there's this fabulous little kid, and it's about his adventures. And look, they're pretty implausible, but we're left often thinking what is in his imagination and what's reality. So we know that he's a storyteller, Eli, and we know that he loves to embellish things. And there's a whole section there where there's something that definitely he questions whether or not it's reality. But of course, you know, we're left wondering how much of this entire tale is reality and how much of it is just Eli's little red telephone story, as you'll see if you read it. But despite that, well, not despite that, because of that, it's just a fantastic story just in and of itself, which of course I always love if it's a good story. With Eli being he's growing up. I think he's about 12 when the book begins, and we take it through to when he's about 18. So we're watching him grow up throughout the suburbs of Brisbane. And so there's a lot of references that if you are from Queensland, you'll love. But there's also a lot of references for the time frame that he lives in. And it seems like Eli might be about 2 years younger than me. So I think the book starts in about 1985. So there's lots of local and Australian cultural references that you'll get. One of my favourite ones is that he describes somebody's voice as being a bit posh, like Princess Diana, if Princess Diana was on a Fossey's ad. So there's those kind of flashbacks, and there's so many times I was left thinking, it's like, Trent's just got such a wonderful memory for those little details that actually place you. You know immediately what that accent would be like, but also it takes you back to that time. So you're constantly being taken back out of your current life. And as you can see by my nose, I was sitting by the pool reading this. You're taken back out of there, back to that time and that place. And that's just a fabulous, skill of a storyteller, I suppose, to take you out there. So it's a wild ride. I don't want to give too much of the book away, to be honest, but Eli is the son of an ex-heroin addict and her reformed heroin addict boyfriend. He's got a dad as well, but he's out of the picture for most of the novel. And his babysitter is an ex-criminal, so a guy who's escaped from jail a couple of times. So the parents are drug dealers, and so a lot of the action is around that. And it sounds dire. It sounds like it'll be horrible, and there is some, a little bit of brutality, I suppose, but there's a lightness to this book that it's not heavy, it doesn't wear you down. And I think that is in part due to that ultimate optimism that Eli has all the way through. So I just loved this. I reckon if you want something easy to read over the weekend, if you'd love to be reminded of the 80s, if you would love to get some a feel of inner city, or not inner city, but suburban Brisbane, and perhaps some of the things that might go on there and things that we maybe choose not to look at, then this might be a fun one for you. So give it a read. Boy Swallows Universe. Have fun. Bye.